This is the fireplace liner. It's ready to go in. We've got it wrapped with insulation, and we forgot to bring our clamps today. As you can see, we had to improvise with some rebar tie wire to pull the mesh over, and that'll work to get it down to the smoke chamber. And then after that, you don't really need the clamps anyway. They're just for transporting mainly. So we are going up the ladder and into the chimney. We won't be getting this part on video because we need all three of us to get it in there. This is what the liner looks like when it's installed. Just attached it to this bottom plate, and it gets screwed on to the bottom plate. This bottom plate has the stainless mesh that you just kind of cut and shape to the smoke chamber. And you just kind of bend it and form it up however it works. And we're getting ready to stuff all this stuff with this Prior Fire Formula 51 mix. It's pretty stiff. The first go, you want to make it kind of stiff because a lot of this is going to be put on by hand. And so I'm going to take and ball it up, and then I stuff it all through this mesh and all around it. And so after we get this stuffed all the way around, so that the insulation on the liner wrap on the other side of this starts like right here. So we've got this plate stuffed right into the insulation, and then the Prior Fire mix will go up to that insulation, hopefully beyond them a little bit, and then we're gonna smooth taper this smoke chamber with it, funnel it right down to a nice round shape. We're not gonna get it all at once, so we'll take a couple lifts. Look at all that stuff just sticks. Like freaking magic. Look at this. You could just like stick it. Huh? Look at all this stuff I got stuck on. Huh? Because I gotta get it to shape to the liner, right? Smoke chamber has to match the shape of the liner. Alright, that's one full bucket. No, not yet. I gotta finish this off. this bucket out. What?
Do you want to see tar paper all around the chimney?
Yeah, as long as there's no shingles.
Yeah, but like, what about the top of the shingle on the one facing the toward the chimney on the staging?
We got to be able to get the ice and water shield all the way around it.
So you want the tar paper just all around?
Well, you're gonna have. We'll end up cutting the tar paper.
Yeah. Okay.
Boy, this stuff is actually really impressive. Look at how I've just balled it up and stuck it up there. There's no way that the old chamber coat would do that. This stuff is crazy. It makes a big difference. I mean, I've got a big hole I'm working through here, but it's still awkward. But when you're working through like a damper or something, and you don't have the space for it, obviously, if it will stick like that, it makes your job a lot easier. You can just, you know, make little softball sized clumps out of it and just stick it up in there. And now I'll just parge it down like this. This stuff's stiff, so it's hard to work with. And my next batch will be softer than this, so I can trowel it on a little easier. But I just gotta do this, and I'm gonna force the bond. You know, otherwise it probably would stick fine, but it's just the way to do it. Force it to bond to that stuff that we already had put on here. Oh, it doesn't seem like it needs to be forced at all. It's pretty sticky. And you want to wear gloves when you do this too, because this stainless wire is super sharp, and if you don't, especially on your first coat, you'll end up getting cut up. The gloves kind of help prevent you getting cut. It's crazy, I just got all that to stick there. I never thought I'd be able to do that.
not sponsored by anybody. They send me some free gear, some free shirts and free hats, and anytime anyone wants to send me some free shirts and hats, I'll wear them to work. But Formula 51 smoke chamber restoration mix is, I gotta say, way better than the original chamber coat mix. I was using the chamber coat mix for years. I've used some other stuff too, the Aaron's stuff I used before, and maybe there's a couple other names. Seems like everybody kind of makes their own now, but I just did 2 complete buckets of this stuff in one smoke chamber, and I built it up like a lot, and the stuff just clings there. You can just ball it up and throw it right up against the smoke chamber, and it just sticks and it doesn't want to sag. So I didn't dare. I probably could put another bucket on it to make 3 buckets like immediately, but I don't want to push it. I'm going to let it set up for a bit, and then I'll come back and put this final bucket on it. But this guy that came up with this, his name is Chris Pryor. I don't know him. Normally I don't like people, but this dude, I actually like this guy. I don't even need to know him. Like, this mix that he made is awesome for smoke chambers. It will literally, I mean, I haven't used one better than this, and man, it just makes my job way easier. So if you get a chance, if you do this kind of work, that Formula 51 is the real deal. Works really good.
I get to fold it in now? Yeah? Listen, that piece in the corner there isn't going to show. We're going to cover it. We got 2 more pieces to go on here, okay? It's going to be covered. Just make sure it's flat against the chimney. And when you get it bent already, you can actually start hitting it a little bit, you know? You don't have to baby it so much.
All right. So just good? I'm done.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not against here, so take the mallet and flatten all this stuff so it's sitting against a little bit more.
Oh, should it not go all the way out to here?
What?
This crease?
No, the crease, it's fine. It's fine. This is where we left off on Friday. Got this block bridged over the top, and I left myself a little hole to keep working this smoke chamber. The smoke chamber is almost done. I've got one more batch mixed up to recoat this, but it's going pretty good. If you want to take a look in there, it is pretty smooth. Let me go from the bottom. Maybe I can look. So you can see it's mostly shaped, and I just have to smooth it out a little bit, just so it's nice and smooth flowing. I don't want any jagged edges. You see there's a couple holes here and there, but it hardened up nicely, and now I can put my last coat on there and smooth it all out. Should be good. I am going to... So I've left this little hole here to do... I had to get everything down smooth down to this point here. This is the last point here that I can reach with my trowel from that spot, reaching up and in. So I'm going to get everything done as much as I can, and then down to this spot specifically on this side. I'm going to brick it in real quick, and I'll brick it in with the chamber mix, I'll parge the back of the brick with it as I go. So it's kind of there on the back already. And I will reach up from the back side and finish parging this one spot over before I bring all this brickwork through to finish. So these smoke chamber mixes are made for high temperature, and they put all these little fibers in there. You can see the little hairs. They're little fibers that help hold the mix together. So you can imagine that this gets quite a bit of heat in here, and after a while, when this is heated up, there'll probably be like a lot of hairline cracking and stuff that happens. And all that stuff is fine. It's just, it happens from expansion, and those fibers that are in the mix will help hold everything together. Okay, let's have a look. Let's check out the progress. It's very hard to see up in here because I've just got a small hole. So I'm doing most everything by feel. See, I've got a spot right there. A couple of spots I gotta hit up. But everything is going pretty smooth. Got some, this corner I've got rounding off, and then this left corner trying to round it off. So ideally, what I'm trying to get to is I'm trying to get everything done in the smoke chamber except for this hole, because down here is behind the damper door, so I won't be able to reach that very well. I guess I could reach some of it, but I've got it mostly coated everywhere except for here. So I'll work on that next. I'll coat that up, and yeah, I'm just gonna start doing the bottom now. But I'm gonna do everything and get it all done except for this spot. So then when I get down here and I'm reaching through the damper and it's really difficult, I only have this little area to worry about. This is a shot of the smoke chamber right before I'm getting ready to close in the brickwork in the front. It's pretty smooth, or about as smooth as I can get it, working through that little hole. So now I'm just gonna fill in that brickwork. Okay.
All right. Let's see how he did. He's been left alone up here to do the sides. How do we think he did?
Mint.
Said he could do it.
And he did it. He performed.
Okay.
Everything's plumb.
Looks good. He didn't put that piece in.
No, I didn't put that piece on the other side either because I didn't want to make a mistake.
Okay. You're nervous because it went beyond?
No, I'm not nervous at all. I just didn't know what you want to do with it. If I have to put the back piece on before it or what.
Why would we put the back piece on before this?
Because like sometimes if there's like, if you're dropping it down and then you got to open it back up, there's a lot of blockage sometimes. And
You're an idiot. Kid's not even here to defend himself. Yeah, I mean, you can't put anything on the back until you get the sides established, right? Because that's how water runs.
Yep.
So you got this piece.
Well, I did ask you if it's the same as the front piece. If it goes in the same.
You can bend this one around because there's not much to it. And then we have to get this next piece on. And that one we'll have to cut to get it to go around. But this looks good. We'll see this side. Yeah, that's pretty good. So you got some of this on the, just be careful on the silicone. I usually like to wet my finger and then I go over the top and then I wet my finger again and then I come back over the lid to kind of pull the silicone so it doesn't drag down too much. I mean, that's a lot cleaner than roofers would leave it, so it's really not bad. It's probably my only critique, just the silicone a little bit.
Okay, so out of 10, how did I do?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
It's probably a 9.5. It's pretty good.
Nice.
That piece there, though, is a little out of plumb, ain't it?
Nope. Which piece?
No?
What piece?
I'm just kidding. They're really
I was
close.
gonna say.
They're all really good.
I put a plumb every single course up
Okay.
to make sure.
And you put the lead pieces in there to hold it, every piece?
Every single piece.
Okay. That's all we can do.
Yep.
And you got the shingles cut now?
Yeah. Kid's about ready to spread his wings and go do his own stuff.
Oh, you'd be making all kinds of money.
Oh yeah.
Get rich quick scheme.
Yeah, actually it would kind of be a get rich quick scheme, but
It's gonna be a lot better than engineering, probably.
and Chiba, so it'd be better than everything.
All right, let's take a look at the finished smoke chamber. Just got the damper door back on and the handle, and this is what it's looking like. Pretty smooth, all in all. Really smooth transition to that stainless liner. Notice that this color behind you is a little different. That's what the brickwork was that I just filled in. And I had to coat that with the original chamber coat mix because I ran out. I used four full buckets of chamber mix on this, and I had to use another quarter bucket of the old stuff just to finish. Which is fine, it's just a different color and it doesn't stick as good while you're using it, but it's got the same fire rating.
Just wrapping up the inside. Got that brickwork all sealed up. Scaffolding out of the way. We just have to set the hearth slab. Okay, so we've finished up the flashing and we have surrounded the chimney with the shingles now. And so we're in a really bad spot here, so I'm just trying to do everything I can to keep water out, to make it look right. So we have ice and water shield up under here, it goes all the way down to here. And we have the lead that it bends up onto the chimney, okay, and comes over the peak. But I still have to bring the cap shingles through here, so it's going to be tricky.
I've got this line chalked where my cap shingles are going to come through. It's, you know, they came through before, and it might look weird if I just stop them, you know, if I just stop them like that and just have lead back here and I have this line. So I'm going to bring them through, but it's got to look right when I do it. So, and I don't want to really nail through this side if I can help it. I brought this stuff called armor sealant, and it's like window flashing, like rubber. Comes in this tube. You put it in a sausage type caulking gun, and but I'm gonna like just trowel it on here, so it's, you know, gonna help stick that shingle down. And then if I do have to nail through, which I might have to get them to sit right, at least I'll have that rubber under here to kind of help seal things up, and then have the ice and water shield under. So that's the plan right now. I don't know how that's going to go. I'm going to try to get this ridge cap to go on straight, even though if you look at it down here, it's like, sometimes you look at these ridge caps and you're like, what is straight? I mean, look at that one. It's got like a serpentine in it. I did build up under here with some of that same armor shield stuff, and it's turned to like rubber under there. So I don't have a cricket here, and I don't want to really get into the framing of trying to put a cricket in this little space, or how that would end up. It's just a really weird spot, right? So you got to kind of be creative to get the water out. And a lot of guys leave it flat and it just kind of ponds water there. Like, you know, when we started, it was ponding water. So I've got it so where the water can actually just drain, so we can take a lot of water. And it does look weird having this edge here, you know, where the water can get underneath. But it's bent up right up underneath, and the water can still drain out from under. As you can see, it just drains out from underneath. But no water is going to stand here, which obviously is a plus. Sheds it right out. We just have to be careful of where we nail, if we're going to nail on this side, and make sure we have rubber, that rubber underneath to kind of help things out. A little tricky, but yeah, we're almost done. We've got this liner to put in, but we're just waiting on the insulation wrap to come in. It didn't come with the order, so we're waiting for the wrap to come in for that. We can install the liner, and then we can put the crown wash on and be done with this project. This is how it ended up coming through. Like I said, I put the rubber down and I put the nails real high. I think it's gonna work pretty good. It's just how I tied it into the other one. I go under with one, and then this one goes over, and I just put the two nails with the silicone through it. So this is what the finished product looks like in the bathroom here. The boys were doing their repointing. I ended up going over it with some rapid set mix, and now the chimney actually looks pretty good. So that's it. We just put the hearth in, and got everything where we want it. If you can see that the hearth is just ever so slightly above this 3/4 inch Advantech. Remember, this Advantech is the same thickness as the new hardwood floor that's going in, so you want to be just above that. You don't ever want to be lower. So just a hair above is good. Got a nice tight joint on the back here, pointed in with the lime putty. You see this slab actually matches the lintel piece. They were both cut from the exact same granite step, so that's why they match perfectly. And that's what it looks like. That's how I'm leaving it, and hopefully I'll get a finished picture after all the wood paneling's up. So that's it for the inside, and now we just have to put that one stainless liner in, and then we'll be done.